I'm Rachel Doble, and I'm a trapper. You can be too.
I'm Ben Ellis.
And I'm Matt Ellis. And we're trappers.
And you can be too.
I'm Ed Dakin, and I'm a trapper. You can be too.
My name's Scott Ramsey. I'm a trapper. You can be too.
Turk Wendell. I'm a trapper, and you can be too.
I'm Caitlin Lospinoso, and I am a trapper. You can be too.
I'm Brad Harris, and I'm a trapper. And you can be too.
A coyote from the distance approaches and attacks.
A couple in Erie has a message for pet owners. Beware of coyote.
Telling their neighbors to keep a close eye on their animals because of these coyotes.
Many states, such as South Dakota, are instituting the predation control methods needed to help ground nesting bird populations thrive. A multi-year study in Texas, using cameras placed on ground nesting birds, showed nest predation mortality rates ranging from 57 to 69%, with raccoons being the highest mesopredator percentage of the study.
I'm Cuz Strickland, and you probably know me as a turkey hunter if you know me at all, but now I'm a trapper. And I want to talk to you about trapping a minute. You know, for 50 years, I've been hunting and fishing for 50 years, but I was never a trapper. Trapping is no different than doing a prescribed burn, or managing your timber, or planting a food plot, or hinging trees, whatever you can do yourself to make your spot better, whether it's your own farm, your hunting lease, maybe you're in a club with a bunch of guys. I have found that trapping was maybe the number one thing I could do.
I'm Alan Probst, and I'm a trapper, and you can be too. We're going to show you the methods and techniques that are going to allow you to become the steward of your own land. You want your land to be as good as it can be? Stay tuned. Alan Probst here, going to show you a trapping technique that I use out in the field. We're actually doing some raccoon trapping, and I'm using the Duke Dog Proof. This trap is obviously dog proof. Now, it's a pull trigger system, and it's something that only the raccoons, possums, and skunks can actually get down in there with their tangible fingertips and pull up on that trigger system. So you can set these around your house, your barn, anywhere on your ranch, your farm. Even homeowners in urban areas can use these traps and know that you're not going to catch any dogs or cats. Even if a little dog or something gets down in there, it doesn't have those tangible fingers to pull up that trigger. So it's very easy to set. We're just pulling back on this, and you're getting the trigger down in the notch, and that is set already. And you can see it's a little cylinder there. That trigger's down in there. We're gonna have the coon reach in, pull it, but that is about as simple as it gets to handling some of these critters. It just goes straight in the ground, give it a little quarter turn, it's set, and we use the Bait North America Trappers Coon Buster. That goes in that cylinder to about where the trigger is, and that's all you need. That's going to entice them to work that set. It's a crawfish-based scent, and then you can actually take a little bit of lure, which is our hunter lure, and we're just going to take a little bit of that and put it on the rim, just like that, and we are good to go. There's a place for every animal. We don't want to kill all the coyotes. We don't want to kill all the wolves. But the one thing that's really ironic with all these people that are against trapping, every wolf, every coyote, every fisher, every otter, every lynx that's been relocated to this part of the country, how did they catch those animals to relocate them? Well, they caught them in the traps that we're using today. And the traps that we're using today are very humane, very efficient, very easy on the animal. We're triple swiveling so they can have full range of motion. It's a different ball game. You are helping keep nature in check. You have a carrying capacity of the land, and once that's reached, you're going to have a surplus, and that's what we're doing on a lot of these properties, is taking that surplus out of the equation. Well, we're getting our dirt hole in there. I've already pounded my stake in the ground, heavy-duty ground talent. We got our Duke 550 here, which I'm going to set. I love these traps. Pretty much every predator set I'm putting in now, I'm using the Duke 550. It's got a night latch. You can actually hear that click. We're out here in Illinois at Rocky Branch Outfitters with Daryl and Diane Hafford. We're doing some predation work for them, and I'm going to pound a new set in here, and I want to show you what I do most generally when I'm doing predator trapping. And you can use these techniques anywhere across the country, whether you've got your own farm, ranch, deer hunting lease, you're a trapper, it really doesn't matter. I have a lot of success with this. I call it a step down set, but really in essence it's just where I get the trap 2-3 inches sometimes below the level of the ground, and I feel that that creates the momentum of that animal. They really have to commit to get down in there, and I got something down in that dirt hole that is enticing them, and that's exactly what I want to do. And you can see how deep I like to get my dirt hole. That's down in there probably a good 14-16 inches, and I want them to have to bury their nose down in that hole to where they're not thinking about what's up here on their feet. Now we're dealing with really wet conditions, so we're using I forgot my wax dirt in Pennsylvania, so I'm using peat moss, and we're going to get that trap bedded right in there. And that's one of the biggest keys when it comes to predator trapping or any trapping. You really got to bed that trap properly. You got to get that in there. You want that trap as tight as you can get it, and don't be afraid to put some pressure on it. It's not going to go off. But you want that as tight as you can possibly get that, to where there's no wobble, no anything. Anywhere I step on that trap now, still a little bit wobbly. Get that jammed in there. Anywhere I step on that trap now, there's no wobble. And because if an animal comes in and he steps here on the jaw or the spring or anything, and there's any wobble there, he's going to immediately back off, and then he's going to start to dig around. And that's what you want to do. Make sure you have that trap bedded in there properly, and that's the biggest key. Once you have it bedded properly, then you just want to cover it, get it to where it's covered up. And as you can see, the level ground here, he's going to have to commit to that set now. He's going to have to actually commit in there, and we want that just like that. Spread this up, get this all around, and that is a really good set. You can see there's not much into making this other than just getting the hole dug and getting your trap bedded properly. We're going to put some bait down in the hole. We've been having some really good success with our Mountain Man bait this year. We're going to get a good glob of that, about that much, down in the hole. Wipe that off, and we're just going to add a little bit of our Madness Predator Lure, which has got a little bit of skunk essence to it. And we're going to just take a stick right here, get that dipped in, and just add that for a little bit of extra flair down in the hole. And quite honestly, that's really all there is now to putting that set in the ground. If you concentrate bedding that trap properly, get something down in the hole that they're, you know, inviting them in there to dig and search it out, you're going to catch predators anywhere across the country with this method. There's not a lot to it. There's not a tremendous amount of effort that goes into this. Dig the hole, pound the stake, bed the trap properly, have something in the hole, and basically what you're imitating here is something living down in there or something buried something, and piquing the curiosity of that animal, and you're going to catch these predators. And I'm sure we're going to have some catches to show you throughout this show, but this is pretty much the tried and true set that I'm going to put in the ground every time that I'm out in the field. Well, we got us another nice tom here today. Not really what we were looking for. We're kind of hoping to come in here and have a coyote. I actually showed you putting this set in just yesterday. And first night, got this Bobcat to come in there, work the Mountain Man bait, and obviously really good pad catch there in the 550. But just on this, little road here leading out into these fields, obviously these cats are down in here hunting for, rabbits or grouse or whatever they're hunting for, mice, and it's the same thing that coyotes are going to be in here hunting for. The Bobcat obviously beat the coyotes to the set last night, but it's a really beautiful tom, and we're going to let him go like we have the other ones. They have a lottery system here in Illinois, and I think they give away 500 tags. So the ones that are fortunate enough to get a tag probably don't have many issues catching a Bobcat here in Illinois, because there seems to be a lot of them here. But that's just a beautiful, beautiful cat. We're going to get him taken care of. There's really no stress on his foot. He's going to be able to run away and hunt another day, and maybe we'll be able to get a tag next year and come back in here and take him. Well, we got that cat let go, and we're going to do the remake here. As I've said before, I love a deep hole, as you can see. That's down in there, probably a good 18 inches. But I love the disturbance around here. I can smell that cat. He's been urinating, obviously, all night. And that's going to draw in any predator that is in the area. He's going to come in and investigate this. And we're going to have a crack at any animal that comes by. Bed this trap properly to where when they step in there to get down in there, you're putting that force of that animal stepping in there into the trap and really making them commit, and that's exactly what you want. And that's really all there is to doing the remake. It's really not much to it. Any coyote, fox, bobcat, raccoon, anything that comes by here is going to now investigate that again. We'll get some more of our Mountain Man bait, which is exactly what that one was caught on. And we'll get a good glob of that down in the hole. Wipe that off. And we're going to take a little bit of our madness. We probably don't need that here because there's so much smell here, but I like to a lot of times just have a couple different smells, and we're going to actually put this, just dip it in there, stick it right into the back of the hole there. Gives them another little added enticement. But really, this is about as good a set as you can possibly have now. As I said, any predator coming through here is going to investigate that, wonder what happened here, smell that bait that's down the hole, and come in and investigate, step right into our set, and we're going to have the next predator that comes through here sitting here the next morning.
Hey, I'm Cuz Strickland, and I'm a trapper. But I didn't used to be a trapper, and I finally figured out why I wasn't a trapper. It's because back in the day, I didn't have to. You know, when I started hunting, the game populations just kept growing and growing and growing, and if things were getting better and better, well, that's because there was always a lot of trappers around managing those predators. Not so much like that nowadays. This is a different world we live in. I consider myself what we like to call a gamekeeper. Well, a gamekeeper does lots of things, especially if you're in charge of your own land, or maybe you're keeping up a hunting club. Prescribed burns, timber management, food plots. Well, trapping is no different. You know, when you got coons, Atttract, and possums and skunks and all that, they're all nest raiders, and I've come way too familiar with that term. It's hard enough for a wild turkey to get their poults up to an age where they can survive, but most of them don't even make it to that point. That nest gets raided while it's still on the ground. Well, guess what? This is the best defense for it. If you're not that good at it, don't worry about it. I wasn't either. Now, I was blessed to spend a week on the trap line with Alan Probst, North American trapper. So I got to see firsthand how simple it really is. It ain't that much to it. When I first started, scared to death. Didn't know how to do it, had to be perfect and all that. Watching him hands-on, I realized I can do that. And by the way, I'm gonna give you a warning right now, spoiler alert. It's very addictive. It's no different than hunting. It may even be better. So you want to improve your habitat, you want to improve your hunting land, or if you just want to make sure everything's in balance, learn how to use a dog-proof trap or a Duke 550. It is the most addictive thing you can do. So, like I said, I'm Cuz Strickland, and now I'm a trapper.
I'm actually getting kind of chills thinking about it because it was such an awesome experience for me to be in that history of trapping and the mountain men who explored the West. You know, then you have the movies, Mountain Men and Jeremiah Johnson and all those different things. I want people to feel that. I want people to experience that. And we have kits that are set up for all of those, which are our starter packages, where we give you the basics of everything that you need, along with a DVD that shows you exactly how to go out there and catch these animals.
Well, we got us, looks like the fourth catch in this set. This is the second possum. We had a possum yesterday and 2 coon the previous 2 days. And we actually have a double today. One finally come into that set down there. Must have been coming up or coming through here after this possum got caught, but we got a double, we got a coon down there. So these 2 sets have taken 5 nest raiders in the first 4 nights. We're actually pulling today. We have to head out of town to go to Missouri to do some stuff down there. But the farmer is going to be really happy. We've taken a good amount of his nest raiders out of the equation moving into the spring brooding season. But anybody out there, whether you're trapping your own land, your farm, your ranch, you put these Duke dog proofs in and you're going to catch them. We're going to catch coons, you're going to catch the possums, and you're also going to catch a few of the skunks too if their arms are long enough to get down in under there and pull that trigger on this Duke dog proof. But it's really a testament to the quality of that trap. And all we're doing is we're putting a little bit of our coon buster in our magnet trailing scent. We showed you over the top of it, and we're on a good trail. But if you find these trails on your land, you're going to have game trails everywhere you're at across the country. And if you can find these type of trails and put a double or a triple set in along this trail, make them hit that nose right on that trap, you're going to catch every one of these critters that come through. And ultimately, it's a fantastic device. It's going to be dog-proof, cat-proof. It's got that pull trigger system that's not going to catch your dogs, your cats, all those different things that are going to help you be successful and not worry about catching anything except the target animals that you're going after. And the farmer's going to be really happy, as I said. We're going to take care of these, pull these traps up, and when we come back here, hopefully next year, I know this trail's here because every year, all the critters are going to use this trail going from these reeds into that little patch of woods right down here. Well, here's another nice boar coon. We've been getting a lot of big coons here this week. We've got a lot of these DPs out. This one here is just on this trail along this little stream edge, a little 2-track right here. Saw some coon tracks, put a couple of them here, one behind me. Nothing in the one behind me, but we got this really nice raccoon here today. And as you can see, we've put probably about 8 or 10 possums and a couple dozen coons in these DPs this week. And for you homeowners, ranchers, farmers, deer hunters, having problems with coons getting your deer feed, everyone out there has a need for these. You're going to have a need for them. They're very humane. These Duke dog proofs have that pull trigger system as we showed you. You're not going to have any problems catching dogs and cats, but you're definitely going to take these raccoons, the possums, and the occasional skunk or 2 out of the equation because they have those tangible fingers to get down in there. But beautiful coon. It's going to help out those ground nesting birds in this area, and we're going to get it reset. We got one more night. Hopefully we'll come back in here and have another one or two tomorrow, but just look for the sign. The animals are going to tell you where to place them. We're just putting them in the trail where they're going to bump their nose right on it, putting a little bit of coon buster, topping it off with a little bit of magnet trailing scent, and the proof is right there. But a beautiful, beautiful coon, and we'll get it reset and hopefully finish the day out tomorrow with another one. Well, we got us another grinner here this morning. This one's playing possum. We're just on this field edge here doing this predation work out on Brad's property in Missouri, but the point that I wanted to stress here is for all you homeowners out there, you're going to have problems with animals. It doesn't matter where you live across the country now. I don't care if you live in New York City all the way to a small town in central Missouri or wherever. You're going to have problems with animals. And these Duke dog proofs, as you can see, are going to help you alleviate those issues. We're just baiting this with our coon buster and our magnet trailing scent, putting it in the travel ways, and you as a homeowner are going to have animal problems. You're going to have pet animal conflicts. You're going to have animals getting under your buildings, causing damage. You're going to have them sneaking up on your porch, eating your cat food or your dog food. But the one thing that you can rest assured on is that these Duke dog proofs are not going to catch your dogs and your cats because of that pull trigger system. You can set these with confidence. The animals that have the tangible fingers, like the possum, the coon, and the skunk, can get down in there, get under that trigger and pull it. Dogs and cats can't do that. So every homeowner should have a couple of these to help alleviate those problems as they come up. But we got another grinner here. That's another nest raider out of the equation out here. But I'd highly recommend you get an opportunity, you get on our website, check out those Duke dog proofs, because everywhere across the country, every person watching this show needs some of these, because you're definitely going to have animal problems as time goes on. Anybody out there can do this. You can go out there, put some of these traps in the ground, take some of these nest predators out of your equation, take some of these coyotes out of your equation, take a little bit or less of that harassment off of them deer, and it's a very little bit of equipment that you need. You know, we have kits that have all these different things in it, Mountain Man, our bait, Mattis, our lure, all of the tools that you need, but don't think that you can't go do this. If you go out and you bed your trap properly, 99% of your problems are going to be taken care of right there. If you have good equipment, you can go out and you can be the own steward of your own land. You're going to take some of these nest predators out of the equation. You're going to help your turkey population. You're going to help if you have problems with pet and animal conflicts. You're going to decrease those. You can do a lot of different things on your own that are going to help you be a more successful outdoorsman. And anybody watching this, you're already an outdoorsman. This is just one more thing that you can add to your repertoire that's going to help you be more successful when you go in the field.